So, this is December. 1st of December. The snow's gone. Super sunny. It's a bit windy. It is cold, it's December. But it's, not that cold. So let's see. Frosty weather. Didn't leave the fuchsias too happy. Especially this one looks really sad. We'll find out if it's hardy. I'm sure it's going to lose all its leaves, but will it come back next year? African daisy seems pretty happy in the frost protection. I don't really even want to disturb it, but I can see through there nicely. It's still even hanging on to a few flowers, which is crazy. But yeah, it looks good. Doesn't seem to be any frost damage. Hebes evidently are extremely hardy, because even the flowers are still absolutely fine. These were frozen solid. Still got leaves on the apple trees. 1st of December. That. Oh, here we go. Look, if anything, I would say that the leaves of that orange tree look better than they did all summer. So, it's obviously happy in the fleece. Cherry tree. Lost most of its leaves, still got one hanging on. And the peaches, just insane. Maybe they just do this. I really have to look this up. They take forever to lose their leaves. This one I'm not even sure if it did lose all its leaves until pretty much spring, and then it put on the new ones. That one did lose all its leaves, but yeah. Huge hollyhock, not looking very happy. That'll be fine. Got these frames I built the other day. Gonna put netting on them, make more of these guys. Protect all the veg in the spring. Yeah. Oh, the greenhouse has held up well. Everything's nice and happy in here. Warm. Look at that. Right now we got 17.8. I just reset it not too long ago, so that's why the minimum temperature is only 13.4. But it certainly hasn't got below freezing the last night. Actually the smell. You can smell the citrus blossoms again, which is brilliant. Oh, amazing. Look at that. I think these are actually, I was looking at these leaves over here. I think this one's growing at the moment. December. So I'm kind of, my thoughts are, should I still be feeding them? Because, they got a lot of fruit on them. The temperature's still pretty warm most of the time. I've had a few cold nights, but then it warms up during the day. It's tough. So I thought I'd given them their last feed, because what I do is, I've only had them for like 2 years now. What I did last winter was to, sort of, just from reading online and what other people do, you feed them heavily all summer, and then basically when it gets to winter, you give them their last feed sometime in, I guess November, I think October even, maybe the end of October, when the weather starts to get a bit colder. And then you just basically leave them and let them completely dry out. And then in spring just start feeding them heavily again. And it just makes them, it basically forces them to flower. They're like, right, it's time, we gotta make our fruit again. They start flowering. That worked really well last year. And I gave them their, last feed, probably at the beginning of November, maybe even the end of October. But then now it's like, everything's still growing. It's still warm enough. They're not gonna be dormant. They're gonna be growing especially when it's 17.7 degrees in here. So maybe I should feed them again. But what I don't want to do is get them all wet they're certainly not dry. So maybe maybe I shouldn't. I'll leave them and just see how they do. But yeah, what I wouldn't want to do is get them really waterlogged and then they're not going to dry out over the winter, are they? So I guess I'll leave them. Maybe a little, could maybe do a little foliar feed, but then that's not going to help with the mold on the flower petals. I don't know. Let's leave it. Let's not mess with it. It's usually the best. This one, though, I could feed because it is quite dry already. It is quite dry. Definitely in the spring I'm going to put it in a bigger pot because it's ready to explode. I mean, look at that. That's a serious tree down there. Yeah, but everything else is fine. Again, I think I'm really happy that the peppers are just keeping going. I think I'd already done this when I made the last video, but I pruned these ones back, just cut off anything that was looking a bit dead. So they're looking good now. And the ones that are just growing, actually planted in the greenhouse, are fine. This one's still got peppers on it. This one I cut back a lot. Still got one pepper on it. See if it comes to anything. This soil is quite dry though. But again, don't want to make it all damp in here. And peppers are supposed to be pretty drought tolerant, right? And this, looking at this fuchsia actually. How's that? Yeah, that might have not liked the cold so much. I guess they're a lot more sensitive. But yeah, this one over here is fine, so maybe it just did get a bit cold on that side. But yeah, I got some bubble wrap that I'm going to put up in here as well, like really thick, hard stuff. So that'll be good. A little more insulation, I'm sure we'll get some more cold nights. But for now, it's supposed to be pretty mild for a while. Yeah. See, this is how mild it's been. I mean, all the bulbs are coming up, so these are all alliums. They've been nibbled by the muntjac deer. But these are tulips in there, and then also crocuses. Oh, this peach is starting to lose quite a few leaves. We had a big accident in the wind, maybe 2 months ago. And this whole side, so the tree was more even. It had the same on this side as it does on this side, and then even a little bit more that I cut back. This whole half just blew down. And it sort of cracked all the way down here, but it was still attached, just hanging off. So I wrapped it up, and it's hopefully sort of healed over. But I won't take this wrap off until spring, just to make sure. Maybe even leave it on a bit then. But we'll see, because, I mean, the buds are forming, so that's good. This is just an ornamental peach, so it has really beautiful flowers on it. But not really. It did produce one fruit last year, but it never came to anything. But it's beautiful. You will see come February. Yeah, like I said. Oregano. Perfectly happy. It's a pear tree. Still got a few leaves on, but mostly gone. And this red Windsor apple has hardly lost any leaves yet. But I'm sure the cold times are still to come. Yeah. Nice to... Oh, let's see how the California poppies did. Because they were completely frozen. Yeah, I mean, they look fine. Certainly not any flowers left on them now. But yeah, it's amazing how hardy some stuff is. Like, this stuff was completely just frozen solid. It had the snow on it and then it froze. Yeah, oh, and here we got some more tulips coming up. They've also been nibbled, which is a shame. But anyway, that's how it goes. So yeah, I'll crack on with those jobs. Peace. So got some nets on the frames, and here I am right now planting garlic. So we got a few in there, a few more to go. Just gonna fill them all in now. There's 54 or something. Gonna be 54 heads of garlic hopefully coming out of just this bed. That'd be cool. And these are all the ones I grew last year. So awesome. Okay, so now I got all the holes filled. 54 head of garlic in that one bed. You know, if they all work. Let's hope. Still got a few more in there. Still got this hole. Might do a whole nother bed. Not sure. Okay, so here we are in the greenhouse. I decided that I'm going to do the other bed, so I'm just dividing up all the heads of garlic and then putting the bigger ones in here to sow. And then I'll just choose the biggest ones I can find. Hopefully get the biggest garlic next year. Okay, so I decided to do this bed as well. Might have gotten a little bit greedy with this one. 77 cloves in there. So, yeah. And also I was, giving it a little big chat about dividing out the big ones. Ended up using most of them anyway, so the bigger ones are up this end and then they get gradually smaller. But yeah, so I should have 2 beds of garlic, hopefully.